You're about to learn the fastest way people lose peace without even realizing it. It's not their job. It's not bad luck. It's not toxic people. It's their mouth. Because every time you reveal something too early, your plan, your pain, your money, your relationship, your next move, you hand someone a handle to pull you with. And once your life is in someone else's hands, your peace becomes a negotiation. So let me ask you something uncomfortable. How many times have you regretted what you shared, but never regretted what you kept private? Today, I'm going to give you 7 things the wise never reveal. Not because they're hiding, but because they're protecting something most people don't even know they're bleeding out their energy. And if you listen closely, you'll realize this isn't about silence. It's about power. Because the world can't sabotage what it can't access. Before we talk about what to keep private, I want you to notice something. Every time you reveal something too early, too loudly, too widely, your body changes. Your chest tightens. Your mind starts running ahead. You begin to check your phone more. You begin to manage how people see you. You begin to rehearse explanations for questions nobody even asked yet. That is not confidence. That is leakage. Most people don't lose peace because life is hard. They lose peace because they keep handing their inner life to outer hands. They call it sharing. They call it being open. They call it authenticity. Sometimes it is none of those. Sometimes it is hunger. The hunger to be seen. The hunger to be approved. The hunger to feel important without becoming strong. Look around. People broadcast their entire mind and then wonder why they feel exposed. They pour their plans into conversations and then wonder why their motivation dies. They publish their relationships and then wonder why their love becomes fragile. They put their pain on display and then wonder why it never heals. You cannot heal a wound while strangers keep touching it. Peace is not something you find. Peace is a territory you defend. And one of your strongest defenses is privacy, quiet, intentional, disciplined privacy, not secrecy, not dishonesty, not coldness, privacy with purpose. There are things in your life that grow best in the dark. Seeds do not demand applause. They demand soil. So listen like someone who wants to become unshakable, not like someone collecting quotes. Because if you take this seriously, you will feel different in your next conversation. You will pause where you used to spill. You will choose silence where you used to explain. And that pause will save you from people, from regret, and most of all, from your own restless mouth. First, keep your next move private. Your next move is fragile not because it is weak, but because it is new. New things need protection. The moment you announce your plan, you invite 2 enemies into it. One enemy comes from outside noise, opinions dressed as care, doubt dressed as realism, people asking for details when you barely have the courage to begin. Some will discourage you because they are afraid for you. Some will discourage you because they are afraid of you. The result is the same. You start defending your plan instead of building it. The second enemy is inside the false reward. When you talk about what you will do, your brain tastes accomplishment without effort. People praise your intention. They say, "Wow, that's amazing," and your nervous system relaxes like the work is finished. Then, when it's time to wake up early, when it's time to suffer through repetition, when it's time to keep going without applause, you feel oddly empty. Because the applause already happened. Many dreams die in conversations. Let your plan become heavy before you lift it into the air. Let it develop muscle. Let it become real. If you want to talk, talk to one person who has earned the right someone disciplined. Someone calm, someone who will ask you the hard questions and not feed you excitement. The rest can meet your results. Second, keep your practice private. Your practice is the small daily discipline. How you eat, how you train, how you learn, how you pray, how you clean your mind. This is where the real transformation happens. And this is also where ego loves to sneak in. Ego does not always shout, "I'm better." Sometimes ego whispers, "Look at me trying." It wants witnesses. It wants recognition for effort, because recognition feels easier than consistency. But practice is sacred because it is intimate. It is between you and your future. The moment you turn it into content, you risk making it performative. Now you don't just train, you train to be seen training. You don't just meditate, you meditate to be known as someone who meditates. You don't just read, you read to look intelligent. Then the practice becomes thinner. It loses depth. It becomes a costume. Let your discipline be quiet enough that it strengthens you instead of feeding your image. The strongest people you will ever meet are often the least impressive online. Their strength is not for display. It is for life. Third, keep your generosity private. A clean, good deed is like a deep breath, simple, natural, and done without needing proof. The moment you need to be witnessed, the deed changes shape. It becomes an exchange. I helped you, now remember me. Even if you don't say it, the mind can start to expect repayment, praise, loyalty, status, gratitude. When that repayment doesn't come, bitterness grows, and bitterness is the opposite of peace. Do good quietly. Help when you can. Give when you can. Be kind when it costs you something. Then walk away without carrying the moment like a trophy. If you want the world to become better, don't advertise goodness. Become the kind of person whose presence makes people less toxic, less anxious, less cruel. That influence is real. It doesn't need a camera. Fourth, keep your wounds for the right room. Some people confuse being real with bleeding everywhere. They tell their pain to anyone who listens. They speak their trauma like a headline. They expose their shame hoping someone will say, "It's okay." But random confession is not healing. It is relief. And relief is temporary. Here is what happens when you share your wounds in the wrong place. People turn your pain into a story about you. They label you. They hold you in that version. Even if they mean well, they may start interacting with you as the fragile one, the broken one, the dramatic one, the one who always struggles. Now you are trying to grow while carrying someone else's definition of you. It's exhausting, and sometimes its worse information becomes a weapon. Not always immediately. Sometimes months later. During conflict, someone reaches for what you confessed and throws it at your face. You don't need to become guarded with everyone. You need to become wise about access. Your wounds deserve a mature listener. Someone steady. Someone who can hold silence. Someone who doesn't rush to give shallow advice. Someone who doesn't gossip. Someone who doesn't make your pain about themselves. Share your wounds where healing is possible, not where curiosity is high. Fifth, keep your money quiet. Money is a tool, but to many people, money is emotion, envy, insecurity, entitlement, superiority, shame. When people know what you have or what you don't have, they start projecting stories onto you. If they think you have more, they may test you. They may expect you to pay. They may resent you. They may treat you like a resource. If they think you have less, they may disrespect you, dismiss you, or reduce your value. In both cases, peace suffers, not because money is powerful, but because people are not calm. So live below your ability to impress. Keep your finances boring to outsiders. Be generous quietly, invest quietly, build quietly. You don't need to announce your income, your savings, your purchases, your debt, your goals. Most people asking are not asking out of wisdom. They are asking out of comparison. And comparison is a fire that never stops eating. Sixth, keep your relationship conflicts inside the relationship until safety is at stake. This is where many people destroy what they claim to love. A small argument happens. Instead of sitting down and speaking with courage, someone runs outside and recruits an audience. Friends, siblings, coworkers, social media, people who only hear one side in the heat of emotion. People who feel important giving advice they will never have to live with. Now your relationship becomes public property. Now your partner's flaws become gossip. Now reconciliation becomes harder because you have already trained your mind to disrespect them. Even if you fix things, the people you told will still hold the old story. They will keep looking at your partner through a dirty lens. This does not mean you tolerate harm. If you are unsafe emotionally, physically, get help. Get support. Protect yourself. Safety is not negotiable. But ordinary friction, miscommunication, stress, ego clashes should be handled with maturity, not an audience. Speak to your partner. Speak clearly. Speak without trying to win. If you need guidance, choose one wise counselor, not a crowd. A bond stays strong when its dignity stays protected. Seventh, keep your victories quiet while you're still building. There is a difference between gratitude and broadcasting. Gratitude is grounded. Broadcasting is hungry. If you announce every win, you begin to live on reaction. You start checking who liked it, who noticed, who congratulated you, who didn't. Your happiness becomes dependent on external response. And the day you get less response, you feel less joy. Now you are trapped. Now your peace is tied to the mood of the crowd. Also, understand this, not everyone wants to see you rise. Some people will smile and secretly hope you fall, not because they hate you, but because your progress makes them confront their own stagnation. Instead of changing, they try to reduce you. They do it with jokes, with subtle doubt, with backhanded compliments, with questions that sound innocent, but are designed to drain your energy. Why invite that into your mind? Celebrate with the people who truly helped you. Say thank you, then return to work. Let your life become better without narrating every step. The strongest momentum is quiet momentum. Now, there is something deeper than all seven, something that sits underneath them, like the root beneath the tree. Most oversharing is not about honesty. It is about anxiety. You reveal things because you want to control how you are perceived. You explain because you fear being misunderstood. You announce because you fear being unseen. You vent because you can't hold your own emotions. You post because you want reassurance that your life matters. So privacy is not just a social skill. It is emotional strength. It means you can sit with uncertainty without rushing to speak. It means you can carry a dream without needing applause. It means you can feel pain without turning it into a public event. It means you can love someone without using the world as a referee. It means you can build without constantly asking, "Do you see me yet?" Many people are addicted to being witnessed, and that addiction makes them weak because it makes them predictable. Anyone can manipulate a person who needs approval. You don't even have to threaten them. You just have to withhold attention. So, ask yourself with brutal honesty, what do I talk about that I haven't earned yet? Some people talk about discipline but don't have it. Some talk about goals but don't work. Some talk about being spiritual but can't control their anger. Some talk about success but are drowning in debt. Some talk about peace but create chaos in every room. Words become a costume when actions don't match. Then you are not living, you are acting. Privacy forces integrity. When you stop talking, you are left with one option: do the work. And yes, at first, it will feel uncomfortable. Silence will expose your impulses. You will feel the itch to explain. You will feel the itch to prove. You will feel the itch to post. You will feel the itch to vent. That itch is your training partner. Don't obey it immediately. Sit with it. Breathe. Feel it rise and fall. Most impulses are waves. If you don't chase them, they pass. Every time you resist the urge to overshare, you strengthen the part of you that can hold your own life. Here is a simple test you can use in real time, in the middle of conversation, right before your mouth opens. Ask, what do I want from saying this? If the answer is connection with a trusted person, proceed carefully. If the answer is relief, pause. Relief is not always wise. If the answer is approval, stop. Approval is a drug. If the answer is attention, stop. Attention is cheap and expensive at the same time. If the answer is revenge, stop. Revenge will poison you first. If the answer is to look important, stop. Importance that needs proving is insecurity. You will be shocked how often the truth is, I just want someone to witness me. Learn to witness yourself. A stable person does not require constant external confirmation. They can sit alone and still feel solid. They can be misunderstood and not panic. They can be quiet and not feel invisible. They can move through a room without needing to perform. That stability is attractive. It is also threatening to people who live by noise. So when you start becoming more private, expect reactions. Some people will call you distant. Some will say you changed. Some will press you for details. They will ask, why are you so quiet? Not because they care about your peace, but because your silence removes their access. Notice the difference between someone who respects your boundary and someone who punishes you for it. Respect looks like patience. Punishment looks like guilt. A boundary is not an attack. It's a filter. It separates those who are entitled from those who are healthy. Now let's make this practical, not poetic. When you are excited about a new goal, write it down instead of telling 10 people. Build the first layer in silence. Let the first proof exist before the first announcement. When you are angry at your partner, don't open your phone. Don't message your friend for backup. Breathe. Walk. Cool down. Speak when you can speak without trying to win. When you do something kind, don't turn it into a story. Let it disappear. Let it be between you and your conscience. When you feel pain, choose one safe person. Or choose a professional. Or choose your journal. Not everyone deserves your truth. When money comes in, don't let it change your mouth. Let it change your choices quietly. Stability is built by boring habits repeated. When you win, don't rush to prove it. Your victory is not a negotiation. It's a fact. Keep moving. And when you are transforming, when your mind is getting clearer, when your discipline is growing, when you are cutting off old habits, don't narrate every shift. Let people notice later. Let the change be undeniable. Let it show in your energy, your posture, your decisions, your calm. Because people can argue with your words. They cannot argue with your life. There is a specific kind of strength that comes when you stop needing to be understood immediately. You stop performing your intentions. You stop pleading for interpretation. You stop correcting every assumption. You let the misunderstanding float by like a leaf on water, and you keep walking. That is not arrogance. That is mastery of attention. Most of your stress is attention being hijacked by other people's opinions, by imagined judgment, by reaction, by the constant management of your image. Privacy returns attention to its rightful owner, you, and attention is your real wealth, because what you repeatedly give attention to becomes your life. So if you want to protect your peace, stop living like your inner world is public property. Stop giving people the power to comment on what they haven't built. Stop letting curiosity decide what you reveal. Stop letting mood decide what you confess. Be intentional. Be selective. Be clean with your speech. Let your silence become a place where your mind can breathe. And when you feel that old urge rising, say it, post it, tell them, explain yourself, defend yourself. Don't fight it with aggression. Just watch it. Like you watch a child throwing a tantrum. You don't hate the child. You don't obey the tantrum. You stay calm until it passes. Then you return to the work. Because the work is what gives you peace, not the storytelling. The world is full of people who speak beautifully and live weakly. Become the opposite. Let your life be the proof. Let your tongue be disciplined. Let your plans mature in quiet. Let your wounds heal in the right room. Let your love stay dignified. Let your money stay low, noise. Let your wins stay grounded. Let your transformation stay protected until it is strong enough to stand in the wind. And as you practice this, something strange happens. You start to feel taller inside, not louder. Taller. You stop rushing. You stop leaking. You stop needing to be held by the crowd. You start holding your own center. You walk into conversations with less to prove. You listen more. You speak less. And when you do speak, your words carry weight because they are not trying to impress. They are simply true. And the people around you can feel the difference. They can feel that you are not selling a personality. You are not negotiating your worth. You are not performing a life. You are living it, quietly, steadily, and that quiet steadiness becomes a kind of power that doesn't shout for space. It creates space. It calms rooms. It ends pointless arguments. It makes you harder to manipulate, harder to distract, harder to pull into drama, because your peace is no longer something you ask the world to give you. It is something you defend with discipline, with silence, with choice. So the next time your mouth wants to run ahead of your life, you pause, you breathe, you keep it inside, and you let time prove what words never could.